It's Brielle and Seth, and we're back again with the Hollywood reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing Thundercat, his newest project, and it's called It Is What It Is.
Thundercat, I think he mainly became like famous from collabing with Kendrick Lamar on These Walls. I mean, I know he was out before then, but that's like when he kind of, I guess, blew up. I don't even think he's blown up at this point, but I know he won a Grammy for that song with Kendrick Lamar. So I guess that's blowing up, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe I guess before this he wasn't an art, like he wasn't a solo artist. He was just kind of like, wasn't he just like in the
like
guitar?
A musician? Like He, I mean, he's a guitarist. He plays, I think he plays the piano too, and drums. So we reviewed this new album. It is what it is, and we're ready to give a full review on it. First, we're going to be reviewing it using 5 different criteria. First is going to be lyrics. Second is production/instrumental. Third is vocals. Fourth is rhythm and flow. And fifth is replay value. Going to start it off with lyrics. What did you give for the lyrics?
I gave it a 9. The only reason I didn't give it a 10 because sometimes it came across like a little bit like, is this for real? Like at some point, you know what I mean?
You mean like his content? Is what you saying?
Yeah, like sometimes
he's like super playful.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, now if you're being serious or not, like, because he'll say something, then the next thing it just be kind of just like, what? Like I don't really know.
To give you Odd Future vibes?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I took 1 point off. Because I was just like, sometimes it's like, I don't know if I'm taking it serious or not, or is he playing or what?
Yeah.
So that's why I gave it a 9.
I gave the lyrics a 9 also. I think the lyrics on here were pretty good for, I mean, the songs that he actually had lyrics. It seemed like a lot of the songs, and because this is probably because he's a musician and not really like a full out singer. Like it seems like he didn't say much on a lot of songs. It was kind of just like some cliches on some of the songs, such as like the first song and the second song. It kind of just set the tone for the whole album. Even on the third song, I did like that, and I did like the lyrics on that because the third song where he's basically just talking about how much he loves his friend and like basically hanging out with him, Lewis Cole, who is also in the song. I just feel like it was just something that like most niggas don't do. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not going like make a song like that. Like and then there's a lot of men are what do you call it? Like where you are afraid to be like judged, like
where you think you want to be gay?
Yeah.
Like they're
homophobic?
Yes.
Is it? All right, so yeah, I guess they're like homophobic and they think like that somebody's gonna call him gay for making a song like that, but it seems like he really doesn't give a fuck, like, and he just makes the music that he wants to, pretty much. So I like that song. Number 4, Black Qualls.
That was a good song.
I love that song. It's like perfectly. It sounds like some some, I don't know, like 70s funk or something like that, or some 70s jazz funk or something. And the message in that is basically you can't like live your life paranoid, basically, and you gotta, and that I mean, I just feel like that's a good message for people to live by, basically, and not to live all scared. The one reason why I did slight it, it's just it didn't give it a 10, even though it's so many different like lyrical songs on here, such as Dragonball Durag, where he's talking about basically like trying to court a woman, basically, and Fair Chance when they dedicated to Mac Miller. There's also a lot of songs on here where it's just like, kind of like they seem like skits. Like he's just like, the music on it is great, but it's just not, he's not really talking about anything on some of them. Like, like House Sway, Miguel's Happy Dance. I don't feel like, it's a lot of short like skits. So that's why I took a point out for the lyrics, for just a shit like that. So we're moving on to production and instrumental. What'd you give for that?
I gave it a 10.
Everything litty, I love when it's hot.
Here, I felt like it was very heavy on instrumentation.
It is now.
Oh, okay.
That sound good.
Okay, Webster, give me my coin now. I felt like it was very heavy with like live, like real actual instruments, and being that he is a musician, I assumed that he was involved with actually playing the instruments for the album. And it reminded me of like a 70s like blaxploitation film soundtrack. Like that's what it sounded like to me. Like it could have been a soundtrack to like Coffee or like Superfly, like something like that type of thing. And I love that type of stuff. So I didn't have a problem with any of the beats at all.
No more living in fear. All right.
The shot is on you though.
All right, damn, yeah, like I'm fucking scared of a fucking shot. I also gave it a 10 for production instrumental. So
Everything litty, I love when it's hot.
I'm gonna go ahead and pour up 2 shots.
I must say, as a sidebar, during this quarantine, my alcohol intake, I feel like definitely increased.
Of course, I think everybody's did. So I gave it a 10 for production instrumental, simply because it's I mean, this is beautiful music. It's you listen to it, it automatically like calms you down. It sounds like a lot of jazz inspired music, a lot of funk inspired music, and that's just like they said that he basically had a lot to do with like a lot of the sounds on To Pimp a Butterfly overall, as far as the creative process in that. I mean, I love that album, and if I would have known that a while ago, I would have been started listening to him, but like I didn't know that until like maybe a few weeks ago. I mean, yeah, the sounds on here are great, and even though, like I said earlier, he doesn't really, on some of the songs, he's not really talking about much. The sound of it is on every single album. I mean, on every single track is beautiful. So, gave it a 10. We're gonna go ahead and take these shots now for the 10s. Shot for Thundercat.
Bummer clap.
All right.
Definitely have to have myself chill.
All right. So let's move on to vocals. What'd you give for vocals?
I gave it a 9. So for him, his actual vocals, I wouldn't say just him alone gave me that 9.
You gotta give it to the whole album.
Yeah, so that's why I gave it a 9. I don't think that his vocals were that great alone, standing alone. I just want to make that clear. Mm-hmm. I feel like his features, though, they were, whenever he needed a little bit more vocally, he got somebody else to do it, which is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
So that's why I gave it a 9. I didn't give it a 10 because I didn't feel like it was nothing crazy. But I do feel like with him, he knew where he was able to go and where he was not able to go. And he got somebody else to bring it in. And I didn't see a problem with that. So I gave it a 9. Himself, I just feel like it's kind of like, it's not really that much range in his voice. But I was surprised when he did a couple of runs. And it did sound okay. He was able to get a little bit of a soprano. Because at first I was going to give it like a 7, and I was like, he actually did like step outside of his normal pitch, and it did sound okay. And then on top of that, the features he had pulled it up to another level. So I gave it a 9.
Okay. I gave it a 9 also, and pretty much for the same reasons. I feel like he's not the greatest singer. If he was just on this by himself, I probably would have gave it an 8.
Right.
But he does bring in other people to actually improve the vocals on here. And I like that. Steve Lacy, he got Childish Gambino on there. Ty Dolla $ign's on here. So I feel like they definitely helped in areas where he probably couldn't get vocally. And I'm just happy that he realizes, because some people don't realize it. Some people don't realize it. He knows what good music is. It seems like he has a great ear for music, so he knows like how to put something together. So I like that, and that's why I gave it a 9 for the vocals. So we're gonna move on to rhythm and flow. Rhythm and flow. What'd you give it?
I gave it a 10.
Everything litty, I love when it's hot.
Right.
I give it a 10. I didn't have any problem with the rhythm and flow. I felt like at times where you think he was going one way with it and you thought it was going to be like the same flow throughout, he switched it up and he said something, or the way he sang it was a little bit different and it caught you off guard. And that's what I like as far as rhythm and flow. I don't like where I can kind of like where it's predictable.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. And I felt like it wasn't predictable at all. It was a lot of surprises for me as far as like his voice. I really didn't think, because the first song I heard was a Dragonball Durag, and I was like, this whole album can't be like this. I do like that song, but you could not have a whole, like, nobody's gonna take you seriously, I feel like.
The content, I guess.
Right, but even through that, I feel like it's very catchy, because I found myself just singing it.
Right.
It's so easy to catch the flow, and I feel like he does that a lot with the songs on his album.
Right.
But then sometimes it'll throw you off when you think you got it, and then he'll come with something else. So that's why I gave it a 10.
I gave it a 9 for rhythm and flow. Same shit you said. As far as the flows and everything on here, I did like it overall. The reason why I didn't give it a 10 is basically because I didn't really like as far as like the flow of the album is.
I see what you're saying. Like it's not cohesive.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I took a point off. And I feel like a lot of times with him himself, he was kind of like in the same like low key tone and flow throughout the whole thing. I know he did have other people on there to switch up the sound, but as far as him and his flow, I feel like it was a little one-dimensional. So that's why I took a point off for that. But I did like it, so that's why I gave it a 9. But just didn't think it was perfect overall. So we're gonna go ahead and I had to I gotta mention that as far as rhythm and flow, there's only one rapper on here. It's Lil B, the bass guy. So
he lost me.
Yeah, man. So
I'm not even gonna lie.
Real niggas know. Real niggas
know that he don't be on point all the time.
Real niggas know.
Real niggas know. Because he was flowing and then he lost it. Should have cut him off at that 16 bar and cut him off. They should never gave him that last couple.
All right.
Because he fucked that up.
All right. Moving on to replay value. What'd you give it for replay?
I gave it an 8.
Okay.
It's honestly a very easy listen. Like you can go from the front to the back very quickly. The only reason that I took a couple, the 2 points off, honestly, is because it's contending with the albums that I'm already in rotation with. That's really the only issue. If this would have came out at a different time where I didn't have what I had, then I probably would have gave it a 10. Just being honest, I'm gonna throw this in there, but it's not Party Next Door for me, which is what I'm listening to right now. So that's really the only reason why I took some off. And then also, sometimes, I guess sometimes I want to hear like a little bit more. I want to say it's not upbeat, but a little bit more like, like hype, not hype, but like
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like that type of sound. And I feel like it pretty much had that same mood, which is fine because it's an album you wanted to have. Yeah. So that's the only reason why I took the 2 points off.
I gave it an 8. I feel like I like a lot of songs on here. I just, again, back to the same point where it feels like a lot of songs on here could kind of be like left off because they don't. I mean, yeah, some of them flow into the next song well as far as that, but as far as like an overall whole album, it doesn't really mix in with the album, such as like House Way, Miguel's Happy Dance, Overseas. I like Overseas, but I like how it flows into Dragonball Durag too. It's a pretty little funny skit, but I just felt like it's not something that you can really, if it didn't come before Dragonball Durag, you really don't want to listen to it by itself, kind of type thing. So
I agree.
And just the fact that I feel like most of the songs on here that I really like, I've already heard before the album came out, such as Fair Chance, Dragonball Durag.
I remember you playing that for me.
Yeah. So I mean that I honestly I usually don't like that when I listen to an album and the best song on the album is already like the single or something that I've already heard. But I don't think that's the case because I actually like Black Qualls probably the most out of here.
Me too.
Out of any song on here. And then probably Fair Chance. So I do like a lot of songs on here and I will be playing it again. So, and just the fact that within the past few weeks we have got a lot of music, a lot of chill like music like this too, like a lot of R&B, like The Weeknd, Party Next Door, Childish Gambino.
Don't forget
Don. Yeah. So I mean, I put this in there with it. So you know, some of the songs on here, I put that in there with it, and you know, listen to it. So we're gonna go ahead and add up these scores. We'll be right back with the final score. Don't you go nowhere. Oh yeah, I forgot to take this shot, so let me go ahead and do that now. All right, we are back and we got the final score for you. Final score for Thundercat's new album. It is what it is. It's gonna be a 9.1.
Oh, yay!
All right,
Thundercat.
All right. All right. So, how did y'all feel about this album? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to leave your 1 out of 10 rating in the comments below. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and don't forget to stay safe.
Stay black and stay sucker free.
Stay sucker free. All right. See y'all.
Peace.